Hello again, my name's Gabe Zolna. Caught a little bit of the news yesterday. Yesterday would have been the 24th of June, and they showed you a little clip of Nancy Pelosi. If you don't know this, she seems to be less popular within the DNC, and there's a number of rather leading Democrats that are beating the drum of having her removed. They say that she's done an excellent job, but her time is sort of gone. And then they showed a clip of Nancy, and she said, have you sort of noticed that they only go after the leaders? They only go after those that are really the leaders. You ever wonder how people like Nancy Pelosi get into the leadership positions? You ever wonder how people like Paul Ryan became Speaker? You ever wonder how Harry Reid headed up the minority position and then the majority position in the Senate? You ever wonder how Chucky Schumer got into that role? Well, my understanding is that those individuals earned those positions. You said earned. Interesting comment. What did you mean by that, Gabe? Remember Representative Jolly and 60 Minutes? Well, you might want to go Google that. Those leaders, I believe, earned those positions by being top earners for their party. Yeah. Nancy Pelosi was able to achieve the role that she's been in for a period of time because she brought in an awful lot of money, more money than anyone else at the time. Paul Ryan, I believe the same thing. He was a top earner. So was Harry Reid. And so I believe was little Chucky. That's how they get rewarded. When a freshman gets to the Capitol, whether it's a Republican or a Democrat, they're sat down and they're told that they can pretty much be guaranteed a rather interesting, successful future, just as long as they go along with what they're told to go along with. And most of them do. More so on the Democratic side. You'd never see Democrats do what Republicans are doing right now. We've got, what, 5 or 6 holdouts on the Republican side for the American health care. You'd never see that on the Democrat side. The Democrats always circle their wagons. You've heard me say that in countless videos. The reality is that what we're exposed to is a show. And that's all it is. And once again, when you have people like Paul Ryan, whose wife either is or was a Democratic lobbyist, heading up the Republican House of Representatives, you have to sort of do what it is. And then when you have people like Nancy Pelosi, who's clearly lost it, still in a position of power. You have people like Harry Reid that should have gone to federal prison for what he did by switching the documents that were approved by the House of Representatives, which was a tax credit for military housing, and substituting it with Obamacare. You have people like Barack Hussein Obama, who doubled the national debt, who committed countless crimes of treason, blatant countless crimes of treason, living with a transgender, pretending to be something that he's not. And they get away with it. There's something drastically wrong with our country. And you're not going to fix it because they're not going to let go of their power. I don't know, folks. What I've said in countless videos, the American people need to know the truth. Congress and the House of Representatives and the Senate are sewers of corruption. That's what they are. We send these representatives to Washington, but they don't represent us. They never have. It needs a complete overhaul. Anyway, that's sort of what I think. Nancy Pelosi either has dementia, Alzheimer's. There's definitely something wrong with her. There's something wrong with Maxine Waters. There's something wrong with Dianne Feinstein. There's no business unit in America that has 83-year-old people running those business units. Yet we allow them to run our country. Do you not think there's something wrong with that picture? You got Senator John McCain, who clearly has lost it and is rambling, babbling, questioning of James Comey. And then he blames it on, well, I was up late watching the D-backs. Folks, they play us, and they have played us, and they're going to continue to play us. It's just a big game to them, and we're the spectators. Anyway, it is what it is, and I don't see it changing.